Hey, 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 another day, another podcast. And it's me, your host, Julia. And welcome to another episode of Sphere Rocket Podcast Network, your go to destination in exclusive conversations with top tier real estate professionals. Today, we've got an awesome guest, and we are so honored to have him. He is Dr. Jason Ballara, CEO of Lark Capital Group, on the show. From veterinary surgeon to real estate syndicator, Dr. Ballara's expertise in Class B or C multifamily and small business investments is unmatched. Join us as we uncover his secrets to achieving strong investor returns and making a lasting impact in the industry. All right, let's welcome him on stage. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Ballara. Hey, Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm
Thank you
good,
so much for
Julia.
joining us.
Thank you for
Awesome.
having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. That's great to know. How did you feel when you got invited on our podcast?
Oh, I was excited. I was my VAs. I actually think got to go on before me, and then I got the invitation. So I was really pretty excited. Thank you again for the invitation.
Awesome. We're very happy to have you. And as I've mentioned earlier, we were just so honored to have you as our guest, and to share your expertise, your knowledge, everything about your business. So, yeah, the people want to know. Please do hoot your own horn. Please introduce yourself a little bit. What's your background, where you're from, and how did you get started in the real estate business?
Yeah, sure. And as you touched on, I am a veterinarian. I'm a veterinary surgeon, but I have been in real estate and construction since I was a teenager. So those careers kind of, I guess, developed in tandem. I always saw real estate and ownership, things like that, as sort of the way to get ahead in life. And in 2020, I had been at that point a surgeon for 12 years. Everything I had done up to that point was on the residential side in terms of real estate. And then in 2020, I started to dive into the world of syndication, which, for your listeners, people that don't know what syndication is, basically that's where we pool a group's resources together, and we purchase assets that are larger than, say, one person might purchase on their own. So typically in our case, we're talking about multifamily apartment buildings. And when we say pool resources, we mean pooling capital or people's investments, and also pooling expertise and knowledge and experience in the operation of these assets. So those two sides of the coin come together to try and create a win-win for everybody involved, and the passive investors get to share in the benefits of real estate without actually having to do any of that work.
Awesome. That's really great to know. And thank you so much for educating a lot of people here, especially me, about syndication. And I'm very quite curious, why syndication?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, like I said, I had always been in real estate to some degree, again on the residential side, and ultimately, what it came down to were two things. One was the ability to scale. So, you can go out there and you can buy, say, 100 single-family homes, and that might take you who knows how many years, or you can buy one apartment complex that has 100, 200, 300 units in it at one time. And so, in terms of the ability to scale, you can go much faster. The other thing is I have always been that sort of DIY guy, and I wanted to find something that was a bit more maybe passive or hands off. And I am I invest as a passive investor, but I'm also on the active side of our deals, and so it's not completely hands off, but it's more of a CEO role and a I guess orchestrator, if you will, rather than me getting in there and sort of getting my hands dirty, which is what I had done kind of my whole life. So I like getting my hands dirty, but so if you want to scale, you've got to be able to build a team.
Awesome. That's great. I love that you have that certain goal, to build a certain team and to keep that, business keeping going. And you've mentioned that you're still a veterinarian, right? So, what transitioned you to become interested in real estate? And Have you been practicing as a vet up until now? Are you doing that both on the side?
Yeah, yeah, I still am. I intend to always be. I enjoy doing surgery. It's a big part of my life over the last 15 years, and it's something I really truly love. But the real estate thing, I guess I would say, inspired in a large part by my son being born. I worked a lot as a surgeon. I worked a lot. I was on call, spent a lot of hours at work, and my wife was understanding of that because she's also from the industry, the veterinary industry. But when we had our son back in 2019, I realized that I wanted something that I wasn't gone so much for, and I could be home. Today, as we're recording today, here at least for us, is a school holiday, and so my kids are home, and I can sort of finish recording this and go inside and then play with them and have that freedom. So it really came down to time freedom, which is why real estate became such a passion of mine. I've always understood the sort of benefits and the way to operate real estate, but being able to do it in a more remote fashion, I actually think has been really uh, fantastic from a family standpoint.
I love that. I love that. I totally understand. And I totally agree to what you've mentioned there earlier, Jason, there. To have your own time, and to spend more time with your family as, of course, your children are growing up. You want to see them and, of course, be in your arms all the time.
Yeah.
So now I understand, being in that business is very quite an advantage, I would really say. And of course, going back to real estate, every real estate business has its strength. So, would you mind sharing your real estate strength? What's your business superpower? Like one thing our audience could reach out and get your expertise in.
Yeah, it is. I think my strength or superpower is really sort of the ability to um, connect concepts for people. So, and I think that comes from having been sort of at all different levels. Like I said, I grew up in construction, so I can talk to the trades, I can talk to the contractors, I understand what's going on there. But also, I'm a doctor, and so I can talk to potential investors from my field, and it just I feel like I have the ability to kind of bring that all together. And so we've built our business and our team around that sort of culture of sort of being inclusive of anybody. We want to help. We really truly want to help our investors.
Awesome. That's great. I totally salute to what you mentioned there earlier, Jason. It's very important to work as a team all the time. And I could really tell you're a really great leader to the people you're running, of course. And although I know you're quite an expert with what you do right now, but we encounter, I know it's normal, we encounter a lot of ups and downs. But on your end, what do you think has been the hardest thing that ever happened to you in business? And how did you overcome it?
Um, I guess probably the hardest thing for me to that I've experienced in the real estate business is um, probably related to my life as a surgeon. So if we, fail in surgery, that's a big deal, right? So you approach everything in medicine, in surgery, um, excuse me, where
So,
you're aiming for 100% success. And in investing is not the same. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be market cycles. There's going to be
mm,
deals that fall through, and that's just never. It's been hard for me to accept that. So I think that's been the
mm,
biggest challenge I face is that mindset shift. Is that when we go through difficult market cycles, there's going to be difficult times, and it's just recognizing that that's okay, and you just keep going. And so that's really I think probably been my biggest challenge has been more of a mental challenge, and it's just like I said, being able to realize that that happens in business, and you just keep moving forward, and you only fail if you quit. So you just keep on going.
totally agree to that. Perfectly said there, Jason. I totally agree to that. Sometimes in life, we really do encounter a lot of things that are like that. But with the positivity you've shown us, I can really tell that you really can go through and continue to that kind of situation. I'm also quite curious. I know you've mentioned that you've also been practicing vet and at the same time real estate.
Mhm.
Which one are you more comfortable dealing with when it comes to, of course, your hobby and the passion, all of that stuff? How do you
Y-
balance also that?
Yeah, and the balance. I mean, I think the balance comes down to I've created my own. I have my own surgery business now. We have a mobile surgery business, and so
Oh, nice.
I can be extremely efficient in that I have built a team there that they do virtually everything, and I just do the surgeries. So from a time spent, we actually spend less time on surgery. Um, but it's funny because it's kind of the same concept that I'm trying to model our capital after is sort of create a team around me that is very good at what they do, and I'm just there to do the kind of important pieces and keep the train moving forward. So they surprisingly relatable, I guess, between the two businesses that we're running.
Awesome. That's great. You still, find a certain relationship towards both fields
Yeah.
and intertwine them, making them, something very interesting that you do every single day. And although there are a lot of things on your plate, another question for on my end would be, do you have, of course, you have a team, but do you also have virtual assistants or assistants in general to help you out? And if yes, how do they help you leverage your business?
Yeah, no, I think team is incredibly important, and that's one of the beauties of the real estate business is generally, basically everybody can be virtual or remote or however you want to refer
Uh-huh.
to it, in a lot of instances, and so you can have people helping you in specific roles within the company. And so we have essentially everybody in Lark Capital is remote, and I have some US based help, but I have some Philippine virtual assistants, and it's really great to have them sort of integrated and everybody working together. It's sort of actually been sort of shockingly seamless to me. It really hasn't been an issue at all. I've been very, very happy with them and their performance, and I frankly would like to meet them in person someday because it feels funny to kind of never have really been in a room with them. But I mean they're amazing, and very happy to have the team that we have.
That's great. That's great to know, Jason. And hopefully, also rooting for you to meet as well your fellow VAs, hopefully soon enough. And yeah, I can't wait for that to happen as well. And with the field that you are in, um, with being a vet and of course a realtor, why do you do what you do? Beyond the cha-chings, the money.
Yeah, that's actually a really important part of what we do, and we actually have a podcast called "Know Your Why," which is
Oh,
because that's such an important thing. And in a lot of ways, my why is my first why is of course my family, but why we do what we do, and we've talked a lot about sort of my two different career paths, and for a while I kept them very separately, but we have just, well, 2023 I guess, we launched our Lark Veterinary Impact Fund, which is that is the way I see being able to sort of combine my two worlds. And I'm sure a lot of people don't know this, but there is an unfortunately high suicide rate in the veterinary industry. And so within our fund, we are going to be giving back 25% of the profits to Not One More Vet, which is an organization that is dedicated to helping veterinarians that are struggling with both mental and financial challenges. So it's our why. I think our why evolves over time, and fortunately can grow bigger with the more success that we have. So that's kind of the idea, is to just try and keep on giving back and making a difference.
wow, that is truly inspirational, Jason. you not only serve a certain purpose, but you always look at the bigger picture and try to contribute when it comes to not just what you do, but of course the whole veterinary community. And that's just wonderful to know. I know you've made waves, made a lot of impact, and yeah, rooting for every success that you do in your field, and very excited to know a lot of more successful stories from you. So we're
Thank you.
actually to my next question. This talks about advice. So what there are a lot of viewers right now who wish or like want to be like you, but like how do they start? So what would be the best number one piece of advice you want to give out to the listeners wanting to get to where you are at?
I think mentorship has been incredibly important in my life. I mean, throughout my life, you can go back to, coaches and, family members, things like that. Mentors can come in all different forms. And there's a lot of paid mentorships out there. And I've done some of them. And also you can, sort of organically get mentorships. I think if you're not in a position to pay for a mentor and go through one of those programs, go get a job working for someone who's doing what you want to do. So there's just a lot of ways to um, kind of get yourself immersed in whatever, whether it's real estate or whatever industry you're trying to get into. I think it's there are options for you, and it depends if you do you have time, do you have money, what is your resource, and then kind of go put that to work in whatever way that makes sense. But I do think starting with some level of mentorship is going to help it. Honestly, sometimes mentorship in the beginning is books and podcasts, right? You just learning, picking up the knowledge, but at the end of the day, then you've got to go take action. And so um, mentors, having a physical mentor, I guess, if you will help you shorten your learning curves, maybe cut out some of the mistakes you might otherwise make. There's a lot of certainly value there provided.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason, for that very inspirational advice. There you have it, guys. You've heard it from Jason himself. Mentorship is very important. You've got to learn, 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 and then apply those knowledge that you've gained from that, right? So we're actually down to our last question, Jason, and then we have a very short commercial break, and we've got a very short segment surprised prepared for you. So please just stay tuned. And yeah, for my last question, how can people reach out to you? What's the best way to contact you? Do you have any other more things to promote, like shout outs or your socials perhaps? How can they contact you?
Sure. They can reach out to me directly by email. It's jason@larkcapital.com. Our website is larkcapital.com. You can find me on Instagram at larkcapital, or LinkedIn and Facebook is just Jason Ballara. So, and actually, if you search my name, there's not a lot of Ballaras out there. It's a pretty uncommon name. So, you search my name, you'll find some way to connect with me. But yeah, just email me directly is pretty easy.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason Ballara. There you have it, you guys. Dr. Jason Ballara. We've got a very short commercial break, so please just stay tuned. The Sphere Rocket Podcast Network will be right back.
Overwhelmed with work? Well, meet your new partner from Sphere Rocket VA. In just a click, get matched with a virtual assistant who handles all the tedious tasks. No in-person hiring, no extra office gear, just easy online help from our recruitment team. It's like having an extra pair of hands minus the hassle. So ready to relax and see your work done just like magic? Choose Sphere Rocket VA and visit us at www.sphererocketva.com.
All right, and welcome back to the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. We have once again our awesome and very mind blowing story with our awesome guest, Dr. Jason Ballara. Welcome back, Jason.
Thanks, Julia.
Awesome. So, actually, for our last segment, we've got something prepared for you. This is what we call the lightning round. Something a little fun by the end of these episodes. So I'm just going to pitch in, throw in some questions, and then you tell me the first thing that pops into your mind. So are
Okay.
you ready?
I'm
Awesome.
ready.
Awesome. Let's do it. First question. Favorite business book?
Who, not how. That one's
Oh,
easy. Who not how? It's
Favorite influencer or coach?
oh boy, Alex Hermosi, probably from an influencer standpoint. Never met him in person, but the content's phenomenal from business.
Awesome. Favorite lead generation method?
I just think direct outreach through social media. Reaching out to people to just direct message them is probably the most effective way.
Totally agree. What is your biggest goal for 2024?
My biggest goal is to grow our fund, to raise the capital that we need to, and then go continue purchasing assets within the fund.
Awesome. Fingers crossed for that.
Yeah.
And lastly, what is your best Amazon purchase of 2024? It could also be last year.
Oh my gosh. That's a tricky one. The funny thing is I don't buy a lot from Amazon. Probably I would guess what, something from for the kids for Christmas is probably like I think we got a Lego set for my son, which we build together. So yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite thing from Amazon. Anything else is like, I don't know, I order energy drinks off Amazon. But yeah, some Christmas shopping is probably the most fun when it comes down to getting things there.
Awesome. That is so cute. Lego, best
Yeah.
for the kids and for the kids. So, yeah, that's really nice to know, Jason. And yeah, that ends our segment, our podcast for today. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Jason Ballara, for your time. We really had fun and we learned a lot from your journey and from the things that you've, taught us. Really learned a lot, by the way. So, yeah. Thank you so much once again, Jason, for your time. We really, really appreciate it. And there you have it, you guys. This has been Julia signing off and wishing everybody to enjoy the rest of their day and hopefully see you on our next episode on the Sphere Rocket Podcast Network. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye, Jason. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Feeling the difference with Sphere Rocket VA? Tasks are flying off your list, and there's more me time in your day. And guess what? It's all super affordable. Yes, you heard right. Our virtual assistants aren't just amazing at what they do, they're easy on your wallet too. No more stress over emails or schedules. With Sphere Rocket VA, you get your time back and keep your budget happy. Ready for simpler, affordable workdays? Head on over to www.sphererocketva.com. Join us at Sphere Rocket VA, where every day is easy and easy on your budget.